Chapter 29, Uncontrollable Power. Su Cheng looked at the broken pieces of glass on the floor, then at his palm, and the glass shards stuck to his skin. After shaking them off, he slowly squatted down and picked up the glass shards and took a closer look. There didn't seem like there was a problem, the craftsmanship and quality were both fine. But why was it that it crumbled like a piece of tofu once he grabbed it? Also, that doorknob from earlier. Su Cheng took a look, it was stainless steel aluminum alloy, so theoretically speaking, it shouldn't have broken that easily too. He walked from the exercise room into the living room in deep thought and noticed that Ranjing and Shen Yao had already come back. Ranjing was all fine, looking at documents and humming a joyful melody. However, Shen Yao looked like she had survived a heart attack as she laid on the sofa diagonally, her eyes looking forward without focus. Su Cheng thought something was wrong, but he didn't bother to ask right away. Instead, he first walked to Ranjing's office desk quietly. He placed his hand on the table and asked, "What happened to her?" "According to my experience in criminal investigation, she probably got hit hard by something mentally," Ranjing replied. Su Cheng nodded, thinking that he should still try to cheer Shen Yao up a little. So, he left Ranjing's office desk and walked towards the sofa. But just as he withdrew his hand from the desk, Ranjing was deeply shocked because she noticed that after Su Cheng's palm left, that solid hardwood desk of hers had a new deep palm print. Ranjing's mouth was wide open as she looked at Su Cheng's back, completely dumbfounded by this guy's background. "I heard that when a woman's dispirited, she will become happy again after eating. This is especially true for beautiful girls," Su Cheng lightly said to Shen Yao. Shen Yao initially ignored Su Cheng and was still dwelling in her own emotions. After a while, she turned around and asked Su Cheng, "What did you just say?" "I said, if you are feeling down, you can go eat something to cheer yourself up," Su Cheng repeated. "Not that one." Shen Yao shook her head. Su Cheng frowned, "What other one?" "Shen Yao, what did you call me?" Su Cheng slowly said, "Beautiful girl." "Shen Yao, do I count as a beautiful girl?" Su Cheng nodded, "Of course." "Shen Yao, then what about in comparison to Chug's you?" Su Cheng hesitated for a bit and replied, "You shine in a different way. You two are different types." Shen Yao immediately said as if she was about to cry, "Then why the hell is it that when I took off my mask, those hardcore fans that were chasing me seconds ago like I was $1 million immediately turned around and left? Please, even though I'm not Chug's you, I'm still good looking, okay? They just ran after glancing at me, isn't that too rude?" Su Cheng awkwardly hesitated and commented, "You are still hung up on that. Why else would I be like this?" Shen Yao stood up. "The people that I come into contact with are all powerful or rich, and which one of them wasn't acting composed around me and trying hard to please me?" Ranjing burst out in laughter at her desk, and she began explaining to Su Cheng, "So this is how things unfolded. Shen Yao was chased by over 100 fans for 3 blocks, you can only see this kind of scene in movies. When she ran into a dead end, she was pushed up against the wall by all those fans. Then, she took off her mask and sunglasses and pretended to be helpless with her eyes closed. I think what Shen Yao envisioned was going to happen was that she would be raped by all those fans, and so she decided that she needed to display her vulnerable side to make those fans forgive her due to her beauty." Su Cheng smiled, and then Ranjing had to stop herself to laugh a bit more before continuing. She closed her eyes for less than 5 seconds, and when she opened them again, everyone was gone without a trace. After they realized that she wasn't Lin Chug's you, they didn't waste a second on her. "Guess what I heard her saying with her eyes closed when I got to her?" Shen Yao was about to throw herself at Ranjing in order to shut her up. "Ranjing, I'm going to kill you, don't say it." Su Cheng reached out and wanted to pull Shen Yao back, but the result was awkwardly surprising. He tried to lightly grab onto a corner of Shen Yao's long skirt, and if it was during a normal day, with the kind of high-quality brand-name clothing that Shen Yao wore, a light pull would have caused no problem. At most, the corner will just slip out of Su Cheng's hand. But, today was different. Su Cheng, terrified, saw that with a eighth sound, Shen Yao's skirt was torn apart from the corner Su Cheng was holding. Then, Shen Yao's porcelain white legs were exposed, and coincidentally, she wasn't wearing any safety pants under her skirt, instead having put on a pair of rose-red underwear. The picture seemed to be fixed at that moment. Shen Yao covered Ranjing's mouth with her hand, Ranjing stared at Shen Yao's lower half, and the tattered piece of skirt remained in Su Cheng's hand. Time seemed to have stopped for a second at this moment. Su Cheng's mouth was wide open, he looked at the ripped fabric in his hand, then at Shen Yao's gradually reddening forehead and neck, and then Ran Jing's big eyeballs. Moreover, Shen Yao's long legs, adorned with only a pair of underwear, were still maintained in the original running position. The scene was unusually quiet, but when Su Cheng couldn't help but swallow his saliva, it triggered an explosive growl from Shen Yao. Su Cheng! I'm going to kill you! Shen Yao's entire face went red. She forcefully pulled the tattered fabric from Su Cheng's hand, wrapped it around her body to temporarily cover herself up, and then threw herself at Su Cheng. Accident! Su Cheng immediately explained before her fist was able to swing over towards him. Who knew the quality of your skirt was this bad? You are still talking. Shen Yao was so mad that she enunciated every word. I'm going to call my dad and directly contact the boss here to kick you out and make you homeless. Rest assured, I didn't see anything. Really? Su Cheng was afraid that she would go berserk, so he immediately explained. Shen Yao was already in a state of madness. I don't care. I'm going to kill you. Can you go and wear some pants first? You are making things even more awkward right now. Su Cheng grew a little impatient and gently pushed Shen Yao, who was charging at him. But who knew that he would use too much power, even though he later swore that he just lightly pushed her away. From Ran Jing's perspective, she saw Shen Yao flying away from Su Cheng's push. That's right, flew away. Like, there was a beautiful arc in the air. With a scream, Shen Yao flew for about 5 meters and landed on the sofa. The parabolic trajectory made it impossible for Ran Jing to close her mouth and recover from the shock. Su Cheng was shocked himself. He looked at his hands, then he looked at the Shen Yao 5 meters away with her head towards the floor and snow-white legs straight up over the sofa. Su Cheng knew tonight was going to be a sleepless night. Then, Shen Yao's resentful cry resounded in the room, Su Cheng, you bastard! At this moment, Su Cheng really didn't know what else to say anymore. He ripped open a girl's skirt, saw everything, and then sent the girl flying 5 meters away. Shen Yao's messy hair and clothes made her look like she was just ruthlessly tortured. Su Cheng felt a little guilty, so he shuffled over and tried to comfort her. How about? I will just stand here and let you hit me until you are happy.